Do you want to ditch that 9 to 5 grind so you can gain freedom and autonomy back over your life? Well, my name's James Eardley. I've generated over 7 figures in e-commerce sales since I got started and I left my 9 to 5 job. And with these videos, I'm going to show you how to do the same. And the reason I can show you how to do the same is because if I was to go back, and I've given this a lot of thought, and start again in a 9 to 5 job to replace my salary, I believe there are repeatable, actionable steps that you can follow. And these are the exact steps that I would follow if I was in that position again. So the first step that I would take is often the most overlooked because you're probably keen to start taking action on your laptop or telling your job that you want to quit. But before you do all of that, you need to get your head in the right place. And mindset is everything when it comes to leaving a 9 to 5 job because it takes a completely different frame of mind to have your own business and to run businesses compared to being an employee in a 9 to 5 job. So the way we shift our mindset and make sure we're in the right position to leave a job and then take complete responsibility over our lives by having a business is to understand why we want this in the first place. If you have a strong desire and a strong reason why you want to leave a 9 to 5 job and gain freedom, then you will achieve strong results. If you just have a weak desire and you just talk about it in passing and you kind of like the idea of having your own business and leaving your job, then that will just lead to weak results as well, and you won't get the success that you want. So the very first thing before you set out on this path is to know a very clear reason why. Go deep and ask layers beneath the initial answers you provide. So if somebody was to walk up to you and say, why do you want to leave your 9 to 5 job and make money online so that you have freedom and control? What is your underlying reason behind why you want to leave your job in the first place? And then whatever that answer is that comes up initially, you want to go a level deeper than that again. So for example, you might say, because I'm really bored of every day in my job. It might be the first answer that you give. And then ask, well, why do you feel bored? And go another level deeper than that. And that's probably because you feel unfulfilled, or you feel like your potential isn't being reached, or you feel like every day is the same and you're not excited by life. And then ask, why is it important to you that you feel fulfilled, excited by life? And then a step beneath that might be that you understand the meaning of life, or you understand the importance of your life and the fact that you get one chance and you don't want to be waking up dreading the next day and living for Friday. Perhaps you want to be excited by every day and you want to look forward to Monday on a weekend and you want to get away from having those Sunday feelings. Perhaps you want to impress people around you, you want to impress yourself. Think about what are the exact deep reasons why, and when you connect at a real emotional level as to why it's so important for you to leave a 9 to 5 job and to get your own business, then you'll have an infinite source of fuel to rely on when it gets difficult and when times are tough and when you've got to hand in your notice. You've got to use those moments to know why you're doing it in the first place, and that fuels everything. If you don't have a really strong reason why, and if you can't come up with a very strong emotional reason why where your feelings are involved when you think about the reason why you want to leave a job, then I suggest you don't leave in the first place, because when things get tough, you'll just be pulled in different directions and you won't have a strong enough reason why. So make sure there is a real strong desire. Ask yourself these deep questions, and with that, you'll have the fuel to go on and achieve anything that you want to achieve. So that's the first step I would do. I'd make sure I was really clear on my reason why. The second step would then be clarity on what my life I'd like to look like when I'm achieving my success and I've left my job and I've moved into whatever realm I go into after leaving a 9 to 5 job. I'd have to get really clear on what that dream lifestyle looks like, because that's going to inform all of the other decisions that you make as you leave your job and build whatever it is that you'll go on to do later. So I would take some time, and I'd probably take half a day out of work, or I'd spend an evening, or I'd get up on a weekend morning and I'd set time aside for a few hours to really go in depth and write down in a journal, what do I want my ideal day to look like? When you have your ideal day, that will teach us so much about what you need to do in order to achieve it. So many people have this dream and goal of being fulfilled in life and being rich and wealthy and going to live wherever they want in the world, do what they want with their time, but they never actually take the time to plan out what that exact ideal day looks like. And it's like getting into a car and not knowing the destination that you're actually going to drive to. How can you expect to get there if you don't know clearly what it is that you're going for? So to take some time to map out an ideal day. Where are you living? Who are you with? Okay. What does your hobbies look like? What do you do first thing in the morning? What do you do for work? Spend some time mapping that out, and then you'll have a clear picture of what's important for you. For example, for me, it was important for me to get freedom over my time, location, and finances. And a day for me that's successful is a day where I have choice and complete control over where I am, who I'm with, what I'm doing. But I am giving with purpose, and I'm doing some meaningful work within that day as well. So I'm providing my purpose. I'm on a mission, but at the same time, I've got choice over how I do that and who I'm with. So once I had that as my clear picture of a great day, and I would go into real fine detail about where I was, what the place around me looked like, then I knew that that was my goal and I knew what to push towards. So do that for yourself is step 2. Now you have a clear reason why it's important and you know what it is you're aiming for. Step 3 is to choose the right business model that will allow you to live that life. So if you have similar goals to me, and if success for you is freedom, control over your time, autonomy over your choices, then it's likely that the business model you need to choose is one that allows you to have that freedom and that control over your time. So there are different business models, there's thousands of different business models, but now you realize that for you to achieve that goal that you have in mind, it needs to align with that. Perhaps you wanted a job that was going to be outside, or you wanted a business that you could run with lots of people. Think about the businesses that would allow that. For me, having lots of control over my time and location, that would lead me into online business, because you can run an online business from anywhere in the world. It doesn't physically need you anywhere in order for the business to generate income. So then once you've got an idea of, okay, it needs to be in person or it needs to be online, from there, think about, okay, if it's going to be online and I want freedom over my time, it needs to be something that generates money without needing me constantly to be working. Otherwise you become a slave to a new job. So think about business models that run without needing you to deliver a kind of service or needing you to be constantly providing the value to customers. For me, when I went through this path, and I would do the exact same again, I would grow an e-commerce business. It's online. It doesn't require your constant time and attention to generate income. And you can set it up, work really hard to build an e-commerce business over the first few months. And then you can start to step back, put processes in place and allow money to come in while you have freedom. It also gives you that location freedom because it can be run from anywhere in the world. So for me, I went for an e-commerce business because I didn't have a lot of capital, a lot of money up front to get started in that. I started with a dropshipping business model and specifically high ticket items I'm selling so that I can generate lots of income per order. And so I don't need to make as many orders in order to make my salary. So I was looking to replace my 9-to-5 salary as quickly as possible. And so I wanted to do that with as few orders as possible. So I went into high ticket dropshipping, and then I also made sure I was dropshipping instead of buying stock because I didn't want to risk lots of money up front. So for me, the high ticket dropshipping business model was my route to get to my ideal goal. So now step 3 is to make sure you have an idea of the perfect business model, or spend some time finding that in order for you to go after it and get to that ideal lifestyle that you've already defined. Then all of the groundwork is in place. I'd get to work on building the business. There's going to be 2 steps about how I would do this if I was starting again. The first step would be finding the right people to get around to build the business and to learn the right information. And the second step would be putting my head down for a period of time where I make sacrifices and I just focus fully on building this new business and I cut out all distractions. So the first step, get around people that are either already in the position you want to be in or they're on the same journey as you. And the way I would do this nowadays is by getting into online communities, because we have an incredible choice and incredible platforms around us all the time now in order to get around people that we can learn from and be inspired by every day to build the type of business that we want to build. So find people in that niche of business that you're trying to build and go after it and follow them and understand what it is they're doing in order for you to succeed. The next step I mentioned was actually still around building it, is around going into monk mode, as they call it, or going into a period of time where you just go all in on building this business. And there will be sacrifices, but you'll be amazed at how much you can achieve by spending a period of time by going all in on building this business and cutting certain distractions out of your life. If you want to achieve extraordinary results, I think you have to put in extraordinary effort. And to me, that means that you have to make big sacrifices that other people wouldn't make. So when I started my business, if I was doing it again, I would do the same. I cut out lots of social events and I cut out lots of evenings spent playing on video games or watching Netflix. I cut out mornings on the weekends in bed, and I cut out early mornings as well, like having a lie-in on a weekday or on a weekend. I'd make sure that there was time now every day alongside a 9-to-5 job that I could dedicate to getting a business off the ground. But if you do this for just a few months and you go all in and spend a lot of your free time outside of your job working on a business, the payoff is massive. And every time you reconnect with the strong reason that you have for doing it in the first place, then it's a no-brainer, and it makes it very simple for you to keep going and take the hard action when it becomes difficult. So for my example, with a high-ticket e-commerce business, I would be finding those sort of communities, exactly what I did the first time. I found Dropship Unlocked. I would learn everything from them, and I'd go into a sacrifice mode where I'd go all in on building that business for a few months. I was signing suppliers, building a Shopify store. I was putting my right foundations in place instead of a company, bank account, doing all the right things so I could start generating sales just a few months down the line after I'd gone all in for a period of time, knowing that I'd need to put work in and then I would get the results afterwards. And that was so rewarding. I'm still getting rewarded for that now, as my e-commerce businesses have been running now for over 3 years, and they're still generating me an income every single month. And a lot of the reason why that income is coming is based on the work that I did 3 years ago by building the store in the first place. So think about that. Take some time now and go all in. The next step, and this is what I would do now if I was starting again to quickly replace a salary, I would document the entire process. So all that means is I would set my phone up or a camera on a tripod, something very simple like a £10 tripod from Amazon. I'd set my phone up on my desk, in the corner of the desk, and I'd have a Bluetooth camera shutter, I think they're called, where you just connect to the camera and press click to start recording. And I'd just sit there, get on with my daily work, and every now and then I would click to record what I was doing over my shoulder, looking at the screen and looking at me. And I would then just take those videos, cut them up into shorts or long-form YouTube videos, and document daily or weekly videos about my process of building that business. Now, what this does is it means that you capture an incredible amount of data and document your exact process day to day of what you're working on and what it's like to build a business. And what you'll do by doing that, you post those online, you will gain a following of people that will also be interested in building that same type of business, and they'll be inspired just by you following your journey and just by documenting every day. You don't need to do anything differently. You just talk every now and then about the actions that you're taking to build that business. You make it a weekly series and people follow you along as you build that business. So you're going through a big opportunity when you create a new business. I think it would be a fantastic opportunity for you to document that and to take us people along on your journey. So you might not be the type of person that likes to document things. So don't worry if you're not. You don't need to do it. I didn't do it when I built my business, and you can still get financially free, location, time independent without having to do this. But if I was starting again, I would absolutely be documenting myself as well as building the business at the same time. Now, if you follow those 5 steps, I can guarantee to you, you will be able to replace your salary with the business that you're building, and you'll gain control back over your time and location and eventually your finances. And so you can choose what you do, when you do it, where you are in the world, and who you're with the whole time. And you get freedom and control back. It takes a period of time getting really clear on the goals you have at the start of this process. Take some time then sacrificing and working really hard on your business. And then it takes some time really scaling the business from that position. But it's absolutely incredible the opportunities that we have today to be able to do this. And by following those steps, you will be able to replace your job and get to freedom. And the important thing is that you have support around you and that you're held accountable to the goals that you set. So when things get tough, you don't got to rely on your own self-discipline. You can rely on people holding you accountable. So if you are interested in getting around a community of ambitious people that are building these businesses and going after their goals, then I recommend the first link in the description, which is for the Freedom Builders community that I'm building, full of ambitious people that are looking to escape the 9-to-5 and build a life that they're back in control of. So check that out if you'd like to be part of something like this. It's completely free. Just if you want to get involved, it's completely free. Just join in. Otherwise, you can feel free to ignore it. I hope you've enjoyed the video today. And if you have, drop it a like, comment to let me know what type of video you'd like to see in the future, and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. With that said, Thank you for watching all the way through to the end. You are a legend, and I'll catch you in the next video.